Hey everyone, it's Mr. Cook from Recreation here. I'm back with week 2 of my Healthy Eating on a Budget challenge. This week we're going to tackle healthy tacos. Before we get started, I just want to remind you to submit your healthy cooking videos to icaregjcc at yahoo.com by May 29th for the potential of a cash prize. Just remember, your videos have to be healthy and they have to be on a budget. Alright, so let's go over our ingredients. We've got whole wheat tortillas as a healthy alternative to corn or flour. Red bell pepper for some sweetness and some crunch and some brightness. A red but purple onion. We've got lime, jalapeno for heat, portobello mushrooms for protein. We've got some colorful champagne tomatoes, sweet corn, barley and lentils, veggie broth. And for our seasonings, we've got taco seasoning, chili powder, black pepper, kosher salt, garlic powder, onion powder, and red chili flakes. And don't forget the crema. So if you're shrewd, you should be able to get all of these ingredients for less than $20. Alright, so for your tools, you're going to need a nice sharp chef's knife, cutting board, wood spoon, and a couple of pans. Alright, so before you get started, always make sure you wash your hands. There are all sorts of viruses and bacteria that transfer from your hands to your food. So you just really want to make sure you wash for 20 seconds. After you wash your hands, you want to make sure you thoroughly rinse all of your produce. So once all of your veggies are nice and clean and you've got a clean work area, we're going to start by adding some canola oil or whatever oil you like or have handy to a saucepan over medium heat, and we're going to let it sit there until it starts to ripple. Alright, so once your oil is rippling, we're going to add our corn, and we add our corn first so that it can get nice and toasty and roasted before we add our other ingredients. And then you can season with a little salt and pepper. Okay, so next we're going to chop our onion. So one safety tip for chopping an onion is you want to make sure you curl your fingers so you don't chop them off. So we're going to cut the end off here. And then we don't need the whole onion, so we're going to cut it to about the halfway point. Now we've got this little bit of onion. So for this recipe, it doesn't have to be super finely diced. I like my stuff chunky, so I'm just going to start cutting against the grain of the onion. Okay. And I'm going to add one more little dice down the middle. This guy. Now they're ready for the pan. We're going to stir this up and let it cook for a little while until our onions start to turn a little translucent, which means you can see through them and our corn gets a little crispier. Alright, so next we're going to do the jalapeno. Again, you want to curl your fingers when you're chopping, so you're going to cut the end with the stem off. And the way I like to do it is, I cut the jalapeno in half. When you cut it in half, you can see all these seeds. You're going to want to remove those. You can remove them with a spoon or with a knife. But when you cut the seeds out, it kind of takes a little of the heat out of the jalapeno. Once you get all the seeds out, you just chop it like so. Keep your fingers out of the way. And I like my jalapenos kind of chopped a little more finely than my onions. And after you're done chopping your jalapeno, make sure you wash your hands so you don't have spicy fingers. Alright, and once you have those diced up, you're going to throw them in your pan. You can see our onions starting to turn a little more see-through. The corn's getting cooked. So next we're going to do our bell pepper like our jalapeno. Going to cut the cap off. Now, people argue about how to cut a bell pepper. I mean, we're just cooking at home though, so it's no big deal. So the way I like to do it is I go inside and I cut the core out. This is going to be where all the seeds are. And then you can either go from the top, like so, or you can turn it like this and cut rings. It just depends on what you want. Bell pepper is looking kind of like this. It's time to start chopping. So now we've got these all chopped up. We're going to throw these in our pan with our other ingredients. It's going to add a lot of brightness. Brightens up our dish a little bit. We're going to get everything mixed up and we're going to let this cook for a while until our peppers start to soften up just a little bit. I like to have a little crunch, but it's really just personal preference. Like, I'm no genius here, I'm not a chef. We're just home cooking, like I said, so it's whatever you like. Alright, so we turned up the heat a little bit and everything's kind of cooked to where I want it. Our onions have caramelized a little bit, our corn's popping, our bell peppers are nice and soft. So now we're going to add my secret concoction of seasonings. Now seasoning is just something you have to kind of go with what tastes good to you. People tell me I over-season things, but that's my business. We're going to add some of our tomatoes, not the whole thing, about half of it, that's good. We're going to add our portobello mushrooms. Some people are picky about what parts of the mushrooms they cook with. I like the whole thing, I don't care, I'm an animal. Alright, so we're going to add 2 more of those bulbs. So I'm going to do the same thing with the next 2. Okay, rough chopped. They're going to go into the pan with all the seasonings and the other veggies. We can see we've got everything cooking in our seasoning. Our corn has turned nice and brown. Our onions are almost completely translucent. And it looks like our tomatoes are starting to pop, so we're almost ready for our barley. So here we have a mixture of barley and lentils. I like to use this as a meat replacement because I like to eat mostly plant-based at home, but if you want, you can use ground beef or ground turkey or steak or whatever you like. I think this is just healthier for me. So what you do with this is you just throw it in the microwave for a couple of minutes, 90 seconds, and then you're going to toss it in your pan. Alright, so our lentils are done microwaving. Careful, it's going to be kind of hot. Down here we can see we've got our pan ready to go. I'm just going to dump these in here. Give them a little mixy mix. And once we've got all of our veggies introduced to each other, we're just going to add a little bit of veggie broth. Not too much, just enough to kind of cover the bottom of the pan. And then we're going to let that cook until our pan is moist, not completely dry, just so that there's not any broth still on the bottom. Crema, here we have our Mexican crema. This is going to be a key component to making our tacos just super tasty, so we're going to add this to a bowl. Okay, so once you've got about the whole bottle of crema in there, we're going to juice a lime into it. So to juice a lime, you want to kind of roll it on a flat surface until it gets soft. And then you're just going to have it with your knife. And this lime is pretty seedless, so we're going to juice it into our bowl. Make sure you have your hand down there to catch any seeds that might fall out, even though there aren't really any. Okay. You got your whole lime in there, you just whisk it up. Alright, so all of our veggies are just about ready. We see how there's not a lot of juice in the bottom of the pan, so now we're ready to work on our tortillas. Alright, so the final step of the cooking process is heating up our tortillas. So we've got our whole wheat tortillas here. These are a lot healthier than flour or even corn tortillas, and they taste pretty good. So for the heating process, just throw it in a pan. Wait for it to become a little less translucent. You see how you can see the dark patterns. As it heats up, those will go away. Alright, so now the tortillas start to turn white and bubble. Don't be a weenie, flip it with your hand. Say hi, Po. And here's our finished product. Don't forget to submit your healthy cooking videos to icaregjcc@yahoo.com. See you guys next time.